So maybe the greatest moment of the night. All of the WWE Hall of Famers that had been honoured the night before were all on stage apart from Triple H, who got his own entrance as the main event of the Hall of Fame always gets, whether it's Goldberg or whoever else it is. And to your eternal delight, Stevie, it's Triple H, and he gets the whole music, he does the water spitting and all that kind of thing, but then he shakes everybody's hand, and he shakes Steve Austin's hand, who is gracious enough, I guess, and then he shakes Bret's hand. Watch this.
Ah! Here we go. Slow-mo. You know what Bret's saying? Bret's so funny, by the way. He has a dry sense of humor. I haven't been around him that much, but I hear what he says to other people. He probably leaned into Austin and said, man, he's still doing the speech. Like it's going on for days. That was great. Whoa. No, I did see this, but I didn't. This is such an Easter egg. I thought you had said they cut the Bret during the speech and he rolled his eye. Did Bret even did he leave after he was done? I would have left.
Oh, probably, yeah.
That's great. Oh.
Thing is, Bret and Triple H have never gotten along. And as far as I can tell, it's entirely Triple H's fault because he was with Shawn and making as much trouble as humanly possible at that time. I
disagree with that. I disagree with that part. Hunter basically was a person that was the scapegoat to hate because he wasn't figured in as much politically as Shawn. He was figured in because he was in that clique, but Hunter was just a guy that was trying to basically get himself over and trying to, to politically align himself with these guys. They became friends, I guess, but he was always the guy. He hated Triple H, but he had to do business with Shawn. This is just my guess. It's always easy to hate Hunter, but Hunter wasn't going around. Hunter was the sober one. Hunter was the one that drove people out. Hunter was the clean one out of the group. They admit that. Remember, they've done shoot interviews that Hunter was the guy that got them around, and he was 100%. I give him credit for that. But he's easy to hate. I mean, for 67-minute speeches, he's really easy to dislike. But at the same time, you can't. For Bret to hate him because of Shawn, that's...
Oh, no. There's more.
There's more, but the basis of it is, I got my clique with the Hart Foundation and the people who love me, and you have your clique and the people who love you, and therefore it's gang warfare. That's all I'm saying. I mean, Hunter has definitely done some stuff, but the pure basis of this, in my opinion, is he hated Hunter because of somebody completely different than Hunter.
Well, Triple H has claimed responsibility for the Montreal Screwjob many years after the fact, after I think it was fairly well established that it was actually Jim Cornette who inadvertently mentioned it first. But anyway, Triple H said there was a phone call that happened with Shawn, myself, and Vince McMahon. Vince said, look, Bret's not going to do it. He refuses to do it. I don't remember all the specifics, but I was the one that was like, F that. If he won't do it for him. So apparently the Montreal Screwjob, according to Triple H only, is that it was Triple H's suggestion. But there's even more. Bret Hart. Now, Triple H made many lives hell in WWE. This is a longer quote, so do bear with. Triple H and maybe even Shawn Michaels were pretty ruthless. If someone was tied to me or connected to me, they would try to ruin them. Even Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. They really tried to crack him and bust his chops. I remember telling Dwayne all the time, don't listen to these guys, you're really good talent, and you don't need these guys. When I did the big interview about America, the next week's taping, I wrestled The Rock, and they wanted me to beat it, they being D-Generation X or the future D-Generation X. Triple H did. He wanted me to beat Dwayne and win the Intercontinental title. I refused. What do I need the Intercontinental title for? We did the figure four on the post. Steve Austin came out, did it, and he ended up in a DQ. But the point is that the idea was to get him into the IC title picture, was to keep Bret away from the main event title picture so he wouldn't be wrestling Shawn. And guess what happened the next year in the NWO WCW? Bret Hart joins the NWO for no good reason, and then all of a sudden he wins the United States title.
To stay away from Hogan. Stay away from Hogan. I'm not saying that Triple H is innocent on all counts. I'm saying the origin of this, because just as many people also the Rougeaus had a problem with the Hart clique. and everybody involved with that, including Dynamite Kid. So there's politics on both ends of this. Now, Bret would be the person, like Cornette and other people have said, I'd rather deal with Bret as far as creative matches, finishes, than Shawn and the Clique. I agree with that, but let's not say, like, Bret was pretty politically powerful in his own right with the Hart Foundation and people in that group that they had. And they kind of made, Dynamite Kid and those guys made life living hell for the Rougeos. And I don't even know anything about the Rougeos, who was right or wrong, who started it. I'm just saying, it's pro wrestling, it's high school cafeteria, and it's stupid cliques.
Mm-hmm. Is Triple H a 4 out of 10
Stevie
wrestler?
Richards defends Triple H and buries Bret Hart. Clickbait title.
4 out of 10. Is that fair from Bret to call Triple H a 4 out of 10 wrestler? I mean, the most famous of quotes, I guess, on interviews.
Yeah, I guess you can say basically Hunter was the guy who worked with the guy who drew money. And anybody that could potentially draw money, like Rocky, Hunter, and Shawn. And if you notice with Young Rock, there is a Triple H in Young Rock, but there's no Shawn Michaels in any episode of the Young Rock. So they must have made peace to some extent. But Rocky definitely, for some reason, Shawn, with his personality and whatever demons he had back then, treated Rock a lot worse. And I think that Young Rock, Triple H in it, Shawn Michaels not in it, tells a bigger story.
There is a photo of Shawn and Rock talking like in the 2010s, like one of the backstage photos. But yeah, they I think the last they had worked together was Shawn was a was a special guest referee, and then I think Shawn super kicked Rock or hit him too hard, and then when they got to the back, Shawn said, well, if you can't take that, you don't belong in the business. So Dwayne double-legged him or something and tried to beat him up in the backstage. So
I don't think Rocky has to try. I don't think he has to try.
No, probably not. I don't think Shawn's ever won a fight, and I have been doing my research on these things. Right, let's get to the main event.
I am just like Shawn Michaels after all. Thank God.